Yo, what's up, gamers? So, I walked into the breakroom today and Gary from IT has the Xbox Game Pass announcement pulled up on the TV. He's got a controller in one hand, a headset on, and the same face he gets when 6 downloads start at once. So I'm like, Gary, why do you look like you're managing air traffic? And he goes, because late August has too many day one arrivals. Of course it does, because Xbox Game Pass is another wave coming in, and Gary is already treating the breakroom like a launch terminal. So, before we get into this, do me a favor. Smash that like button if Game Pass keeps attacking your backlog, subscribe if you want the subscription chaos cleaned up, and tell me in the comments down below, what are you downloading first? Now let's grab a mop, because Gary turned one Xbox announcement into a scheduling emergency, and I do not trust a coffee machine with a controller plunged into it. Let's get into this. Available now in game preview with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Vapor World Over the Mind is a day one Souls-like platformer on cloud, console, and PC. You play as a boy lost inside a twisted dream, descending into a shattered mind while chasing lost memories. The hook is deflection combat, dark atmosphere, platforming in a world built from sorrow and regret. So if you want something moody, challenging, and emotionally foggy, this is the Dream Nightmare pick. This is a game where therapy got a health bar and platforming started swinging back. For now, with Xbox Game Pass on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, BlazBlue Entropy Effect X brings roguelite action into the BlazBlue universe. This one is all about stylish 2D combat, responsive controls, flashy attacks, and building stronger runs as you fight through enemy waves. This one has a major content update with Platinum joining the battle on Xbox Series X and S. So if you want some anime fighting game energy filtered with the roguelite loop, this is a combo heavy pick. This is the game where the screen explodes beautifully, and somehow you were supposed to dodge. Available now with Xbox Game Pass on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Relooted is one of the more distinctive concepts in this wave. This is an African futurist heist and puzzle platformer about reclaiming real African artifacts from fictionalized Western museums and collections. You recruit a crew, plan routes, grab the precious cargo, and get out fast before the whole job falls apart. So this one has a strong cultural hook, a clear style, and a premise that immediately stands out. This is the game where the museum security becomes a problem, and the gateway plan needs zero accounting mistakes. Available now with Game Pass on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Starsand Island is a cozy life sim pick. You set onto a peaceful island lifestyle, spend slow days fishing, exploring, bonding with cats and dogs, and wandering through places like the moonlit forest. So after all the blood dungeons, dream combat, and runaway eggs, this is the please let my brain sit down game. It is calm, right, and built for cozy island routines. This is the game where your biggest strength might be forgetting to feed the dog. Available now with Xbox Game Pass on cloud, console, and PC. Wolfenstein 3D is the In Case You Missed It Classic Shooter Edition. You play as BJ Blazkowicz, trapped in a maze of corridors while trying to escape, steal secret plans, and fight through enemies standing between you and freedom. This is the old school first-person shooter history with simple rules, fast action, and zero patience for people who need objective markers every 12 feet. This is a game where the hallway is the level, and the level is absolutely trying to delete you. Joining Xbox Game Pass on August 25th for cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Aerial Knight's DropShot is the high-speed stylized FPS racer. You play as Smoke Wallace, who was apparently bitten by a radioactive dragon as a kid, turning his skin purple and giving him the power to fire bullets from his fingertips. So yes, that is the pitch. You race rivals, fight dragons, shoot smart, and try to look cool while landing. This is the game where racing gets bullets, dragons, and the origin story HR definitely did not approve. Joining Xbox Game Pass Day 1 on August 25th for cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Blood Dungeon is a 2D platformer survival game from the creators of Nidhogg. You parkour through dangerous dungeons, kite monsters, gather blood and power-ups, survive runs, then take your earned bones to the bone shop to get stronger. There are quests, upgrades, arenas, skins, and plenty of why is everything chasing me energy. This is a game where dungeon crawling becomes cardio, and the shopkeeper accepts bones like that is normal business. Joining Xbox Game Pass Day 1 on August 27th for cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy is the big headline of this wave. This story follows Sophia's journey to the Minotaur's Island, where she faces deadly trials, dangerous paths, puzzles, combat, and an army chasing close behind. But the real threat is the terrifying creature hidden behind the myth. This is the game where the Plague Tale universe heads into legend, and somehow the island already needs a mop. Joining Xbox Game Pass on August 31st for cloud, console, and PC, Young Suns launches into its 1.0 full release as a narrative life sim set after a successful revolution on Jupiter. You can explore fantastical planetoids, derelict ruins, and converted stations alone, or with up to 3 friends. The goal is helping the citizens of Jupiter rebuild, which sounds peaceful until you remember space infrastructure is probably one loose bolt away from drama. This is the game where the revolution succeeded, and now everybody has to do the group project part. Joining Xbox Game Pass on September 1st for cloud, console, and PC. Shelldiver is an incremental game about turtle fishing jellyfish and selling them at a tiny shop. You upgrade equipment, explore different biomes, dive into ocean depths, help the local turtle population, and maybe take a well-earned nap after all that shell-based productivity. So this is the weird, cozy closure. Not loud, not explosive, just a turtle, a business, and jellyfish economics. This is the game where capitalism gets underwater, and somehow the turtle has better work-life balance than Gary. So that's the latest Xbox Game Pass wave. Some games are already available, the next batch starts August 25th through September 1st, and Game Pass is clearly trying to turn late August into a backlog traffic jam. So now we're back in the break room, and Gary's still standing in front of the TV, with the controller in hand, headset is still on, staring at that lineup like he's still redirecting flights. So I'm like, Gary, are you organizing downloads or running airport operations? And he goes, at this point, yes, I'm doing both. Well, good luck, because that's all I got. I gotta bounce before Gary gives residents a boarding pass, sends Blood Dungeon to baggage claim, and puts the turtle from Shelldiver in charge of concessions. But before I go, do me a favor. Smash that like button if Game Pass just made your backlog worse, just like mine. Subscribe for the next cleanup, and tell me in the comments down below, what are you downloading first? This is Scruffy the Janitor signing off. Peace out.